How is this? We don't care if there's an election next year or not. Had the election been 5 years later, we'd have stood up just as strongly. We'd have stood up just as strongly. You cannot do this to our people and get away with it. I'm sorry. Whenever an election comes around, they do this. If that were the case, if this was every time they say, oh, Hindu, after the last assembly election, Hindu women are being raped by Muslim men, this is happening. If this were the case, then Bengal wouldn't be Bengal. You don't know where they are, who they were. You have been a complete failure in nabbing the Pahalgam infiltrators or terrorists, whatever they may be. And you're trying to divert tactics from that and say we are picking up Bengalis and calling them Bangladeshis.
Hi, you're watching the Times of India. I'm Aditi Prasad, and with me is Trinamool Congress Member of Parliament, Mahua Moitra. Ms. Moitra, you put on a very impassioned video message on Twitter a couple of days ago and accusing the Haryana police of Nazi Germany-like crackdown on Bengali-speaking migrants in Gurugram. The Gurugram police, of course, says that the immigration drive is a matter of procedure to take out undocumented immigrants. What do you have to say to that? How do you view this?
This isn't just at Gurugram. This isn't just at Gurugram police. This is something which we've been seeing for the past month in all the BJP ruled states. It first started with an illegal MHA notification, a secret notification dated the 2nd of May 2025, which the Ministry of Home Affairs sent to the chief secretaries and DGPs of only the BJP ruled states. So, for example, the West Bengal chief secretary was completely in the dark about this. So, what this notification of the 2nd of May said was it allowed people. Now, remember, the Foreigners Act doesn't allow you to detain Indian nationals. It can only allow you to detain foreign nationals. There is no room within the Foreigners Act to detain Indian nationals. So what they've done here is they've said you can basically detain anybody up to 30 days, which is completely ultra-virus the constitution, and they sent it to all the BJP ruled states. Now this started in Rajasthan, where 400 migrant workers from Bengal were picked up and kept. That was initial stages. Went on to Gujarat. Then the most egregious was in Odisha. Now, Odisha is a bordering state of Bengal, and so many migrant workers from Odisha come to Bengal and vice versa. 24 years of the Naveen government, we never saw anything like this. 1 year of the BJP government, we've been seeing an anti-Bengali movement in various parts of Odisha. But in the last month, what we saw was, it started with 7 Bengali workers being picked up and put in a detention camp and being basically told that you all are Bangladeshis, prove it. So they said, this is our Aadhaar card, this is our Epic card. And remember, after COVID, most state governments, including the Bengal government, registered migrants. So we have 22 lakh migrants registered with the Bengal portal who are in other states working, as have Bihar done this. So they said, we are registered workers. No, nobody is listening to anything. They put them in jail in a detention camp and said, that's it. We were not informed. The state government was not informed. Then 444 workers were in the district of Jharsuguda in Odisha from different parts of Bengal. That's when we first made a fuss. Went on to Chhattisgarh, where you had about 20 picked up and again put illegally in a detention camp. I made a huge fuss, filed a habeas corpus petition. It's only when I filed a habeas corpus petition that the Advocate General came in and they released those people. Next, what we see is what you're talking about in Gurugram. And what we've seen in Gurugram over the past 2 weeks, you have seen from Badshahpur, from Fazilpur, from Yamuna Nagar, Sector 10A, Sector 24. These are all migrants who are working there in unskilled jobs. So these are maids, these are cooks, these are rack pickers. These are all these people who have come from different states to work, and a large part of them are Bengali. What we've seen is a drive where plainclothes police are just coming and picking them up and putting them. The community center in Sector 10A, for example, is a detention camp. Sector 24 is a detention camp. They're just picking them up. They're saying, look, this is our Aadhaar card. This is an Epic. They're not even looking at it. Taking away their mobile phones, switching them off. So in many cases, we, the state government, I am their MP, we only come to know when their families call us and say that they've been picked up. So this is completely like Nazi Germany, where on the basis of linguistic identity, people are being identified and denied due process of law, and it's reverse onus. The burden is on you, prove you're not Bangladeshi. They are saying, here we are Indian. This is our Aadhaar card. They are taking it for granted that that's not valid and saying, no, you're Bangladeshi, prove you're not Bangladeshi. So, this is completely illegal, ultra-virus the constitution, and this is an anti-Bengal movement and an anti-Bengali linguistic movement. My district, for example, Nadia, has 3 to 5 lakh people who are migrant labor. Maybe I myself have more than 50,000 people from my district living and working in Gurugram. They have Aadhaar cards, they have everything. They have been living there for 10 years, maybe 15 years. They are not illegal. How can you pick them up if they are showing you an Aadhaar card? If you are running a drive, what is the SOP? The SOP is Gurgaon police goes to every single multi-storied building and says, do you have anyone working in your house? Please show us their papers. You take their papers, you take their Aadhaar cards, you send a report to that state government and say, please verify these people and send it back. If they are verified, they are verified. If they're not verified, you can start deportation proceedings. Nobody has a problem. What are you doing now? You are just coming there in plain clothes. Many places we have seen where people are coming and saying, give us money. If you don't give us money, then we'll deport you and pick you up. There is absolute terror. People are not going to school. People are not going to colleges. They are huddling and living in fear in their own houses because they have no recourse to law. So this is a completely Nazi Germany where people have become persecuted in their own land. This is illegal. This is ultra-virus the constitution. And this is something every single person in Gurgaon who's living there should be aware of.
Mamata Banerjee has claimed that Bengalis are being detained and labeled as Bangladeshis and Rohingyas, as you are pointing out yourself, and has warned of nationwide protests if this continues. Is this going to be your main campaign theme for the 2026 Assembly elections?
It's not just a campaign theme for our 2026 elections. We are a government that is representing the state of Bengal. We are the Bengal state government. If our people are being persecuted, discriminated against, tortured, and picked up on the basis of speaking our mother tongue, which is classified as a classical language, by the way, and is picking up this 9 crore, 11 crore Bengali-speaking people are living in India, and you're picking them up on the basis of their linguistic identity. Do you think we as the state government, as we as public representatives, and Mamata Banerjee as chief minister is going to be quiet? How is this? We don't care if there's an election next year or not. Had the election been 5 years later, we'd have stood up just as strongly.
What if it's proven? If there are a bunch of we all know that there is a infiltration problem because
how do you know? Where is this huge infiltration problem? Where? Who wants to live in India? Who? Tell me one thing. I have a border constituency. Who wants to live in India now? I have Kushtia on the other side and Nadia. The GDP, the health indicators, and a lot of things in Bangladesh are actually better. Please let Narendra Modi and Amit Shah get this out of his head that the whole world wants to come and live in India. 11 lakh people, earning professionals who have paid taxes, have left India in the past 3 years. Nobody is looking at India as this land of honey and cream that people want to come and settle here. Please get this out of your head.
You're labeling it as Nazi tactics. Is it not hyperbole to label what's happened in Gurgaon as a Nazi tactic? Because as a student of history, we all know what Nazis did.
But that's exactly what this government. What did the Nazis start out as? If you have done history, what did the Nazis start out as? They started out as early as 1905, 1906 by picking on the Romani gypsies, right? From 1911, it first started with the gypsies, where they were targeted on the basis of their linguistic identity, and it started with the gypsies. It then went on and on and on and on and ended up 1939, and the camps didn't happen overnight. It happened over a 20-year period. I suggest, you can go to Berlin, you see the movement, you study the movement of Nazi Germany. It didn't start overnight, it started over a 20-year period. And the first thing that started was taking a group of people, be it the Romanis and then later the Jews, dehumanizing them into us and them. Look at the way even you're speaking. There are half the people in India who believe that Rohingyas are not human beings. What harm have the Rohingyas done? If you find an illegal immigrant, follow the laws. Please follow the laws. But we want to know, out of every 100 people that you are detaining illegally, how many have you found to be illegal immigrants? I haven't seen a single figure. A single figure. Day before yesterday, a 19-year-old worker from Malda district was taken on a JCB and thrown in. He's from Kaliachok in Malda, about 100 kilometers from where I live. The last time the BSF turned 7 people over from Kuch Bihar wrongly into Bangladesh and they were sent back. Every single person that they have sent back over the past 2 weeks is a resident of Bengal that we have had to bring back. This is what the union government is doing. They think they're going to win votes like this.
There is also the reverse side, right? There is, some months ago, there was an organized assault on Hindus in Murshidabad, and they were forced to flee there. Would you call that a Nazi tactic too?
What was an organized? That was a communal right which was started by the BJP. That was, each time an election comes in, the BJP do Hindu-Muslim danga every single time. My home where I live, Karimpur, is actually Murshidabad Lok Sabha. I live there. I've lived there for like last 15 years now. My constituency is adjoining Murshidabad. I know everyone lives in harmony there. This is a classic tactic of the BJP. Whenever an election comes around, they do this. Whenever an election comes around, they do this. If that were the case, if this was every time they say, oh, Hindu, after the last assembly election, Hindu women are being raped by Muslim men, this is happening. If this were the case, then Bengal wouldn't be Bengal. Bengal wouldn't be Bengal. I think this kind of dog whistling, which has been played up by the Modi media, has really got them nowhere, because these aren't the facts.
How do you see this playing out in 2026, this particular issue? I know you're saying that you're not taking up, TMC is not taking up this issue because of the elections. And neither the BJP also is saying that there is just a crackdown after Operation Sindoor on illegal immigrants who are living in India. But
sorry, I must come back on that. The BJP
so
is saying that they cracked down on illegal immigrants after Operation Sindoor. Those were 4 people. Till today, you don't know where they were. You don't know if they were homegrown, if they came from Pakistan, or what they were. You have a prime minister who's going to Pakistan and having biryani. You don't know whether those 4 people who came till today, it has been 4 months since the attack. You don't know if they were homegrown. You don't know if they crossed the border. You don't know where they are. You don't know where they are, who they were. You have been a complete failure in nabbing the Pahalgam infiltrators or terrorists, whatever they may be. And you're trying to divert tactics from that and say we are picking up Bengalis and calling them Bangladeshis. What kind of nonsense is this?
How do you see this issue playing out in 2026 Bengal elections? That I'm very interested in, Mahua, because it's going to be a huge make or break election as far as both sides are concerned. It can either be the end of BJP in Bengal, or it can be the end of TMC in Bengal if it plays out one way or the other.
I wouldn't say it's not the end. It'll be the end. I wouldn't be so sort of black or white. You have to understand that in a state as complex and diverse as Bengal, there is always room for, there's never going to be just TMC and never anything else, right? It doesn't work like that. So there will always be room for, there will always be room for some kind of BJP politics. Now, is that enough to come to power? Never. We don't believe that. But are they going to get 10, 15, 20% of the vote? Yes, they will. They have done that in the past and they will. Are they going to do as well as they did in the last election, which is 60, 70 seats? No, we fundamentally believe they will be below 50 seats this time. So, but does that mean it's the end of the BJP? Yes, I think their idea of ab ke baad 200 par. I mean, if you see in 2021, the body language, the general narrative, even in Delhi, we had people coming to us and say, "Ab ke baad to aapka sarkar jana hai, aap log kya kar rahe, ab to BJP aa rahi hai." This time, even within the BJP, that's a foregone conclusion that the TMC is coming back. Even within the BJP, I mean, we have friends, even other MPs from other states are like, "Ab to aa rahe wapas." So I think that is set in goal that the BJP is not coming. Now, whether they get 40 seats or 50 seats in a democracy, we believe they'll get less than 50, but are they going to come down to 0? Certainly not, because this is a democracy and there will always be room for some people who will follow their politics. And that's fine. That's absolutely okay. This is going to be a very important, I think, issue for the Bengal election, because the issue with the BJP is they are struggling in Bengal because they unfortunately come with this very North Indian aggressive jingoistic idea of Hinduism. And they come and say, okay, you have to have vegetarian, you have to not drink alcohol, you have to say Jai Shri Ram, and this very patriarchal world of Hinduism. Now, you have to see in Bengal, we are Matri worshippers. We worship Mother Kali. We are a mother goddess cult. So number one, this Jai Shri Ram, even if we say Ram Ram or even we say Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, my grandfather used to say Hare Hare Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. That is sick to the Bengali, but we won't say Jai Shri Ram as a war cry, right? It is very much a sweet, like Jai Siya Ram. All the people from other states who live in Bengal, they will say Jai Siya Ram. There's nothing. My grandfather would say Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. It's a very sweet thing. It's not that Jai Shri Ram, Bajrang Bali. That's not understood. It's not understood. We have Hanuman also, but Hanuman used to serve Ram. For us, Hanuman was the servitor of Ram. Hanuman was not somebody that you worshipped on his own and kind of, it's a very different concept. So this idea of this North Indian patriarchal Hinduism has not sold in Bengal. They haven't been able to do it. Now they have realized that they are going to double down on that. So if by doubling down on that, you are picking on Bengalis, this is backfiring everywhere. Even Bengalis who voted for the BJP can't. I mean, are you going to tell me a Bengali voter in Gurugram, an educated techie who may well be a BJP voter who's living in Gurugram? Even I've had people like that writing to me saying, what the hell's going on? Our maids, our cooks, our domestic staff are living in complete fear. What are you guys doing about this?
Do you believe that the special intensive revision that we saw in Bihar, if that happens in Bengal ahead of the elections, how's that going to play out?
Look, they are not going to get away with this. We have gone to court, and this special incentive revision is neither special nor intensive nor a revision. It's a mass disenfranchisement exercise, and we should have a separate show on this. But a picture abhi baki hai. I don't think they're going to get away with Bihar, and they most certainly are not going to get away with it in Bengal. Most certainly not.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning. It's a
Thank
Sunday
you.
morning.